4M and 1E approach should be there. There are many of the techniques depending on the which the problems which are being faced should be cured or should be solved. This is a very beautiful process of the quality circle. What happens in quality circle? There is a people who creates quality circles and collect information. Now that circles and informations are shifted towards the problems, which is the problem and how the problem is to be solved. Depending on that problem, the certain data are being gathered and the analysis of the data should be done. Ultimately, recommendation of the solutions are being taken from each individual within the team, and this decision is to be taken by the top manager or the leader of the team. This again is a quality circle process. Now, there are many other advantages which can be got by quality circles. This should improve confidence. This may increase the interaction of the same level employees. These people may have chance of attending new knowledge, and if the person doesn't have knowledge, he may acquire certain knowledge. He should get build a leadership quality. Mutual problem solving should be there, so that there should not be any biasness or conflicts within the employees. Quality circle promotes the creativity by tapping the undeveloped intellectual skills. It creates a tension-free atmosphere which is liked and understood by each individual members. Under such atmosphere, each member cooperate with other. Next is socio-technical system. This is a beautiful system. This intervention to improve QWL is used by very big and by very dynamic organizations, which are multinational organizations, we may say. Now, these socio-technical systems are the most critical interventions ever faced. In this, we have to restructure entire work group according to the sociological need and that sociological approach with technological approach. These are more than just enlarging or enriching the job. These approach may result in more radical changes in the work environment. So whatsoever major organizational change are there, they are being faced in this socio-technical approach. What is the system? Here the team and the individual behavior or the team's culture, their beliefs, their value system, their leadership style, those are to be checked and to be combined or to be amalgam with the technical system. What is the level of the technology, which is the technology is to be used, what is the type of production technology, what is the physical work setting, what is the complexity of the process. These two are adjoined and the new design for the organization is being made, which has work roles, technical task, workflow, goals, values are changed, skills are changed. This is the approach how an organization should go international. Say for example, an American company is coming to our country, so any country should see the sociological or the social belief first. Say when McDonald penetrated Gujarat, it was very well known in the many of the states like Maharashtra, Delhi, Noida, Kolkata. McDonald's were penetrating like anything and it was booming like anything, but when it penetrated Gujarat, it failed like hell. So what happened? A manager of McDonald's came to Gujarat and then he went through that the Gujarati people are not much fond about non-vegetarian food. So what the people did was they did survey. That social survey was done and they found out that the major thing which this Guju people are eating is potatoes. Now they have to make an aloo patty out of that, and depending on that aloo patty, that social system was involved with the technology how they used to make burgers. Now these burgers and potato system, when enlarged together or when they emerged together, there was a beautiful system came, and then the McDonald's could do very well in Gujarat too. Next system is autonomous work group. These are more common and rare approach to employee involvement. What is autonomous work group? Here the teams, the workers are given the responsibility without any formal appointment of the leader. So there is no leader in the group. Anyone is allowed to take the decision, and that decision should be taken care very well. Now the key feature of these groups are high degree of self-determination by the employee in the management. What happens in day-to-day life? Typically, people have control over the pace of the work. Now, this pace or this control, when given in the hand of an employee without any direct supervision, so this may result very good when the employee is allowed to take the decision himself. So the person knows there is no direct manager or no direct control, when no one is keeping an eye over a person, so he may feel relaxed and he may work very well. This is the autonomous work group. This is a structure of autonomous work group, that is traditional work group, employee involvement team, semi-autonomous work group, self-managing teams, and self-designing team. Now these are the approach of working autonomously within the organization. Next is models of QWL. We'll quickly look over the models of the QWL. There were many people who gave models of QWL. As and when the time changes, the models even were supposed to change. First model is Heckman and Odham model. This was given in 1976, and this was depending on the skill variety, task identity, task significance, autonomy, feedback. Next is Taylor model. Now what this Taylor did was, Taylor suggested that quality of work life depends on the organization and any group. So if the organization is getting changed, the quality of the work life is being changed because of the system or because of the environment of the organization change. That changed the factors. Next is War and his colleagues gave, and this model was depending on the work environment and on the job satisfaction, what the work environment is and how the people are satisfied by the job. That was being analyzed well, and this satisfaction or the dissatisfaction was again amalgamated with the motivation factor, and this motivation factor when come in the perseverance, and this job characteristics were changed. Next model is Baba and Jamal model. This was given in 1991, and these people explored the routinization of the job content. They said that quality of work life is maintained by routinization of the work. Like if the people is job satisfied, then make him involved in the job. If the person is involved in the job, make the role ambiguity. There should be less conflict, there should be less work overload, job stress should be less, organizational commitment will increase, and the turnover intentions will get decreased. So these were some of the models of QWL. Next point is techniques of calculating QWL. Now we have seen what quality of work life, what is the importance, what is the need, what all are the methods, what all are the models. Let us look over the techniques, how the QWL is calculated. First technique is work related quality of work life. Work related quality of work life is what is the scale? There is a scale, say job and career satisfaction, working conditions, general well-being, how the home and work interference, what is the stress at work, what is the control on the work. There is a scale, and people has to calculate that scale, and this is how work related quality of life scale is observed. Next is BIAFS. This is brief index of affective job satisfaction. This, the name itself indicates, this has only 4 items. First is job, affection towards the job, satisfaction towards the job, and motivation from the job. These 4 are combined and calculated together, and an index is to be made. Next is job and career satisfaction. This job and career satisfaction scale is on the first one side, the job and the entire responsibility of the job is taken, and how a person wants his career to go, and what is the goal of a person. So here is the mission of the organization, here is the mission of a person. When these two are calculated together, this is JSCS, that is job and career satisfaction scale. Next is general well-being scale. General well-being scale is how the person generally getting well-being from the organization that is being calculated. This is very important scale, that is stress at work subscale. This is subscale, this is not pure scale, but how the working of an employee qualitatively and quantitatively within the work life, or how the QOL is dependent, that is stress at the work life. Certain stress is allowed, or it should be good stress. That stress increases the pressure of an individual to work, but after certain pressure a person feels distracted and person cannot work at all. So this subscale is to be taken, that how much stress is to be given. This is like an elastic. When you give certain stress is required for an elastic to elaborate or to enlarge its density, but when this stress is given above the intensity of the elastic will burst out, or it will get torn. So this should not be there within the organization. Next is home work life interface scale. What is the tension of an employee within the organization or in the home? That factor again is very important. Next point is barriers to QWL. There are certain hindrances how and why the quality of work life is not being maintained in all the organization. First, the management doesn't want to change, or neither the employees want to change. Second, people think that quality of work life will post some cost on the organization. But this is not the case. When you continuously do QWL, that results in improvement of the quality itself. Next problem is when you do quality of work life continuously, the productivity decreases, because all your emphasis is there in increasing the quality of the person. Next is widespread unhappiness due to comparison with the colleagues. What happens in quality of work life? Those scales are being maintained and measured. Now when the scales are being measured, the people will get that he is being continuously in the competition of his colleague. So what happens to his socio-technological system? That will feel ashamed when the person is continuously not doing well, or the person, when the person is there in the organization, he feels competitive, he will not work well. Next is regional prejudice about the performance appraisal system. Yes, the person who does the appraisal may get bias for the employee, and he may promote, and that promotion have certain personal criteria. That is a barrier to QWL. There are certain initiatives for improved quality of work life. The employer should provide physical entities at the workplace, health and safety for the welfare provision. Involvement of the worker should be there. Initiative forms and the work design should be there. Formalized QWL experience should be there. Or employer should develop an appreciation of the changing environment in it. Now, what initiatives should be taken by the unions and workers? They should get education about the QWL. They should know the areas of collaboration with the management. They should encourage the workers to participate in QWL activities. Now, the professional organization should take initiatives in workshops and seminars. Initiative of specific research projects should be there. They should provide professional assistance to organization to help and generate internal competence. They should develop the state of art on QWL. On top of it, government should take certain initiative that they should impose certain standards and norms in new area. They should have some policies to provide great QWL. They should execute some actions to ensure implementation of those legalized facility. There are certain tips how the QWL should increase. One should have personal vision. They should taste out one's own perception. One should continuously learn and keep on learning. One should have very friendly, and they should share their load with a person in the organization. That they should share the success. They should get it off the chest. A person should find joy when the person is serving the other. He should take breaks. He should try out new idea. He should have fun in the organization. Now let us quickly conclude what we have seen. QWL is totally and completely concerned with taking care of the higher order needs, but the basic needs are not being overlooked. Next is the QWL is very much needed, but not on the basis of the production. When the production is getting decreased, the QWL should not be taken in account. Next is QWL will make the organization friendly. Now this QWL is like an umbrella under which the employee feel fully satisfied with the working environment, and this is the umbrella when he can work and he is secured about the job. So this was a beautiful session of quality of work life. Thank you.